What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Tuesday, July 1st. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. After a 6-0 day there on Sunday, Monday did not go so hot. We had some pretty bad luck, not going to lie. We had the Cardinals at -125. The offense didn't show up there at all. A 7-0 loss, so kind of crazy there. But the real craziness was in these totals, guys. We had the Athletics, Tampa Bay under 8.5. That ended up being a 6-4 win for the Athletics. 2 runs given up there in the 9th inning screwed us over in that game. So devastating stuff there. We also had the Baltimore, Texas under 8.5. A tough beat on that game because it was looking like a win through the first 9 innings. Yeah, that's usually all it takes. But then we see it combined 10 runs scored in the 10th and 11th innings combined. That's a pretty big yikes. So annoying stuff there. We had the Reds at +158 as our dog of the day. Not a lot of underdogs we loved. They take the 13-6 loss. Didn't feel like there were many, great underdogs, but I thought this one had some value because I thought the Reds would hit Crochet a little bit, and they did, putting up 6 runs overall and 4 against Crochet himself, but Burns got absolutely destroyed out there. That's going to happen sometimes. You back a young pitcher, and that's what happened to us. So a little bit annoying there, but we did finish off the day with a win. We had the Phillies at -220 as our massive lock of the day. A solid 4-0 win behind a great start there from Zach Wheeler. So the lock of the day continues to churn out winners. But guys, let's see if we can wash the taste out of our mouths on that, kind of ridiculous Monday. We're going to get back to work here with a full slate of games here on Tuesday, and it's the first day of a new month, so let's get after it. First up, we're going to be looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees coming into this game fresh off a 5-4 loss in Game 1 of this series, which narrows the gap between them and Toronto down to 2 games. The Yankees are going to hand the ball in this one to Max Fried, who's 10-2 this year, a 1.92 ERA. Dude has been lights out. His last start, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and it was an unearned run there against the Reds, and it was eventually a 7-1 loss. So we'll see what he can do here against Toronto. He faced them back in late April, and shocker, the year was very, very good. He did get 11 runs of support in that game, and that's not necessarily something you can count on from the Yankees right now. The bullpen for the Yankees continues to be solid, a 3.58 bullpen ERA. Not going to cry about that. The offense, though, still a little bit not looking like itself, really. I mean, Judge, maybe he's popping out of this, like little funk he's had going on. They're 5th in runs scored, 2nd in on-base percentage, but not a team that I'm trusting to put up double-digit runs on a daily basis. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Blue Jays, who've won 4 out of their last 5. Like I said, they're only 2 games back there in the AL East. They're hitting the ball in this one to Kevin Gausman, who's 6-6 this season, a 4.21 ERA. His last start, 8 innings. 2 hits, no runs allowed there at Cleveland in a 6-0 win. The Blue Jays are 3-2 over his last 5 starts. He did have a terrible start there against the Diamondbacks, but that's going to happen sometimes. He did face the Yankees back on the very, very tail end there of April and got absolutely dismantled in an 11-2 loss. So you don't love that history if you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan. The Toronto bullpen has not been a problem. A 3.67 bullpen ERA is very serviceable, and the offense, it's looked good as well. 5-5, 1-9, and 6 runs over their last few games. They're 15th in the majors in runs scored, but 5th in on-base percentage, 3rd in batting average. This is a team that, can definitely put up some runs. So look at the numbers here, guys. The Yankees are -165. The Blue Jays are +140. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Yankees, 22-18 on the road, 22-16-2 to the under on the road. Toronto, 25-16 at home, 25-15-1 to the over at home. I'm not too interested in the total in this game, guys. And while the Blue Jays have been playing pretty well recently, I don't have enough faith in Gausman, who has so much negative history here against the Yankees. I'd much rather back Max Fried here, and at -165 is a pretty reasonable price, so give me the Yankees here on the road to start off the day. Next up, guys, we're looking at the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Padres took the 4-0 loss there against the Phillies in Game 1 of this series, so slam that thumbs up button if you enjoyed cashing the Phillies as our massive lock of the day there on Monday. The Padres not having a great time at 45-39 on the season. They'll hand the ball here to Nick Pivetta, who's been very good, 8-2 this season, a 3.36 ERA, so nothing to complain about there. His last start, he dominated the Nationals, striking out 10 over 7 innings in what was eventually a 1-0 win, but over his last 5 starts, I would say 3 were bad and 2 were pretty solid. So we'll see what he can do here against the Phillies. Not necessarily the easiest team to face, but maybe not the toughest right now. The Padres bullpen's been amazing, top 4, top 5 in the majors all year long. The offense has been the problem. That's what's held this team back, guys. They've scored 0, 2, 6, 1, and 1 over their last few games. Machado and Tatis, I guess, are trying to like carry the load here, but this team's 22nd in runs scored and 19th in on-base percentage, 23rd in slugging percentage. Not the kind of offense I'm looking to back. So we'll see what they can do here against the Phillies, who've won 3 out of their last 4. Seem like they're maybe turning things around. They're hitting the ball in this game to Christopher Sanchez, who's 6-2 this season, a 2.79 ERA. His last 5 starts have been excellent. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of those outings. The Phillies are only 3-2 over that span, but that's really because the dude doesn't get any runs for it. His last time out, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts, 0 walks, and a 2-1 loss at Houston. So we'll see what he can do. I'm expecting good stuff from him. I'll always worry about the Phillies bullpen, though. 7th or 8th in the majors. Worst in the majors, 4.51 bullpen ERA. That's something they got to address about before the playoffs starts. The offense, 4, 2, 1, and 13 over their last few games. They haven't been hitting the cover off the ball, really. They're 11th in runs scored. They're 8th in batting average, batting .255 as a team. Obviously, Schwarber's put up some pretty good power numbers this season, but I'm a little bit leery of this offense right now. So we'll see if they can get going. Looking at the numbers, the Padres are plus 145. The Phillies are minus 170. We've got a total of 8.5. The Padres 20-24 on the road, 23, 19, and 2 to the under on the road. The Phillies are 26-14 at home, 20, 17, and 3 to the over at home. We'll see which way this one goes. I have a little bit of a hard time here fading a guy like Nick Pivetta. He's been really good, but he hasn't been, necessarily insane recently. Obviously, his last start was amazing, but his start before that wasn't. So we'll see what happens in this game. Feels a little bit sketchy to me. I'm going to lean a bit towards the Phillies here with Christopher Sanchez on the mound, but not a game where I'm showing tons of value. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Twins just lost 2 out of 3 against the Tigers, getting shut out in the last game of that series. They'll hand the ball here to Joe Ryan, who's 8-3 this year, a 2.86 ERA. He's been very steady for the Twins. His last start was against the Mariners, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, and was eventually a 2-0 win. So very good stuff there from Joe Ryan, obviously. We'll see what he can do against the Marlins. Not a team he's faced this season, but I'm expecting him to be solid out there. The Twins bullpen, on the other hand, all the way up to a 4.32 bullpen ERA. That is a huge concern. Also, the offense has been nothing special. I mean, 0, 5, 4, 10, and 2 over their last few games is honestly a step in the right direction for a team that's all the way down to 22nd in the majors in batting average and 21st in on-base percentage. Just not a very scary offense. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Marlins, who are streaking, guys, and in a good way. They've won their last 7 games in a row. They just swept the Diamondbacks. They'll hand the ball here to Edward Cabrera, who's 2-2 this season, a 3.78 ERA. Over his last 5 starts, he's looked very, very good. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of those starts. He's given a total of 6 earned runs over those 5 starts. Crazy stuff. The Marlins are 3-2 over that stretch. His last time out, he was very good against the Giants. We'll see what he can do here against the Twins. Not a team where he has any history this season, but also not the scariest team out there at the plate. I do worry about the Marlins bullpen. A 4.36 bullpen ERA is not very good, but the offense has really turned things around recently. 6, 8, 9, 12, 8, 4, and 5 runs over this winning streak. They're hitting the ball pretty well. They're up to 19th in the majors runs scored. They're 10th in batting average, batting .254 as a team. Not a ton of scary bats out there for the Marlins, but enough to get the job done a lot of the time. So looking at the numbers here, the Twins are minus 140. The Marlins are plus 118. We've got a total of 7.5. Minnesota 18-27 on the road, 24, 18, and 3 to the under on the road. Miami 17-24 at home, 23 and 18 to the under at home. First up, I think under 7.5 is very live in this game. I also like no run first inning in this one a good amount. So definitely jot those down if you're taking notes here, because I think those have some value. In terms of a side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Marlins at home because the Twins tend to struggle on the road. But going against Joe Ryan in this kind of spot is not super appealing. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row. Is off to a great first half of the season. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for MLB over at Stump the Spread. We have an expert with many, many more years of experience capping MLB than I have. He uses some very sophisticated tools and algorithms, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration when making his, all of his projections. Very, very sophisticated stuff. He puts a ton of work into those premium picks picks every single day. So definitely consider going over there, signing up for a premium package, but also just go over there, sign up for a free account. They just need your name and your email address. That'll get you on the email newsletter list. And it's one email straight to your inbox every single day with at least one, sometimes two free picks included. Also, there can be parlays in those emails. There'll be information on niche sports betting like golf, tennis, NASCAR, all kinds of crazy stuff where we see some value. So definitely consider signing up for that. It's great value straight to your inbox every single day with almost no effort from you. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, guys, sign up for a channel membership. A YouTube channel membership makes you eligible for our members-only giveaways, and we're going to be doing one of those members-only giveaways right now. This drawing that you guys are about to watch us do is for a free Stump the Spread hoodie shipped straight to the mailbox of one random channel member. Channel members get access to these giveaways every single week, and it looks like the winner is going to be Alex F. Alex F, let us know down in the comments if you won this giveaway, and then we will give you further instructions. So get down there in the comments, let us know if you won this giveaway. Guys, if you're interested in being part of these giveaways in the future, click that little join button right below the video to sign up. Channel members get access to these giveaways. They also get access to our videos a little bit earlier than everybody else, and you'll also get your name up on screen like you've been seeing in this video just now and in every single video. So consider signing up for that, but let's hop back in, guys. We've got a ton of games to cover today. And next up, we're going to be looking at the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cardinals come into this game fresh off that tough 7-0 loss to start this series, so not the way they wanted things to go right off the bat. Now, the hand thing is here to Andre Palante, who's 5-4 on the year, a 4.43 ERA. His last start was against the Cubs, and he was actually pretty good. 5 innings, 7 hits, but only 2 earned runs. Doing a good job of getting himself out of trouble. Now, the Cardinals eventually lose that game 3-0, so that doesn't help there, but we'll see what he can do here against the Pirates. Definitely not as scary of an offense. The Cardinals bullpen hasn't been anything too special this season, but it's steadily gotten better and better, all the way down to a 3.71 bullpen ERA over the course of the season. I don't think that's too bad considering where they were at in the early goings. The real strength of this offense has been the real strength of this team has been their offense, and getting no hit through 6 innings, not what you're used to seeing from the Cardinals, who are actually 6th in the majors in runs scored. They're 6th in on-base percentage, and they're batting .255 as a team that's 6th best in the majors. So a very tough team at the plate. We'll see what they can do here against the Pirates and Paul Skeens. Now, Pittsburgh 36-50 on the year, but pretty hot right now, winning their last 4 in a row. Skeens is going to be on the mound. He's 4-7, a 2.12 ERA, but his last start, he actually didn't look very good. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs against the Brewers in a 4-2 loss. Obviously, over the course of the year, he's been pretty good. Now, going up against the Cardinals specifically, he faced them back on April 8th, so a long time ago, but got knocked around a little bit. 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. So Skeens maybe not quite as lights out in this exact matchup. Obviously, the Pirates' bullpen's been a problem this year. It's been better recently, down to a 3.72 bullpen ERA, but still not a bullpen that I 100% trust. And the offense, while it's been going nuts recently, guys, do any of us think this is going to continue for the rest of the season? Like, they've scored 7, 12, 9, and 9 over their last few games, putting up a ton of runs. They're still 27th in the majors in runs scored. They're still 29th in the majors in slugging percentage. So I'm not trying to overreact here. The odds makers, they're not trying to overreact either. The Cardinals are plus 140. The Pirates are minus 165. We've got a total of 7 in this game. St. Louis is a 500 road team. They're 21, 19, and 2 to the over on the road. The Pirates 23 and 21 at home, and basically a 500 over-under team at home. I'm really leaning towards the Cardinals here at plus 140. I don't really want to be fading Skeens here, but I think this is where we finally see the Pirates offense cool down. It's got to happen eventually. I'm not interested in taking the Pirates at minus 165. It just seems a bit too expensive, and I don't really trust Skeens in this specific matchup either. Next up, guys, we've got the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Tigers have won 3 out of their last 4. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Twins. They'll hand the ball here to Jack Flaherty, who's 5-9 on the year, a 4.80 ERA. His last start, maybe he's beginning to turn things back around after a couple rough ones. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs against the Athletics. Now, that was a 3-0 loss, but he at least threw the ball relatively well. We'll see what he can do here against the Nationals. Maybe not the scariest team to face, but Flaherty's been wildly inconsistent this year. The Tigers' bullpen has also been a little bit inconsistent lately. I'm not too worried about it yet, but it is at least on my radar. The offense continues to do its thing, guys. 3, 10, 1, and 8 runs over their last few games. Riley Green having a great season at the plate. The Tigers overall are 4th in the majors runs scored. They're batting .256 as a team. That's also 4th in the MLB. This team can swing it. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Nationals, who are 35 and 49 on the season. They did just win 2 out of 3 against the Angels. They'll hand the ball here to Trevor Williams, who's 3-9 this year, a 5.65 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs against the Padres. Not exactly the hardest hitting team. And we did see the Nationals take the 4-3 loss in that game. They're only 1-4 over his last 5 starts, which he's had some very solid ones mixed in there, but also had some kind of mediocre ones. We'll see what he can do here against the Tigers. He hasn't faced them this year, but I'm not super stoked about Trevor Williams. I'm also really not stoked about that Nationals bullpen. They're technically the worst bullpen in the majors by bullpen ERA, so that's not a good look. And while the offense did look pretty good in that series against the Angels, over the course of the year, they haven't been anything all that special. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored, but 20th in batting average, 22nd in on-base percentage, and I mean, CJ Abrams, I guess, is a little bit scary. James Wood does have 22 home runs, but I don't know, guys. This team at the plate doesn't really get me going. So looking at the numbers here, the Tigers are minus 160. The Nationals are plus 135. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. Detroit is 23-18 on the road. They're 26-15 to the over on the road. That's actually an MLB best to the over. Washington, 16-24 at home. 21-18-1 to the under at home. I don't have much of a lean on the total in this game. In terms of a side, I am going to lean towards the Tigers here. I mean, I would be pretty surprised if they don't find a way to win this game eventually, but Flaherty is a bit of a wild card, so that's why this one's going nowhere near the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we've got the Athletics going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Athletics just won game 1 of this series 6-4 in an annoyingly high-scoring game. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jeffrey Springs. He comes into this game 6-6 on the season, a 4.30 ERA. His last start was at Detroit, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs allowed, and an 8-0 loss. So not a great look there. We'll see what he can do here against Tampa Bay. Has he faced the Rays yet this year? No, he has not faced Tampa Bay this season. But overall, he's had a middle-of-the-road season. It hasn't been a disaster, but it also has been great. The Athletics bullpen, though, it's been a disaster. One of the worst 2 or 3 bullpens in the majors all year long. So that's definitely something that's holding this team back. The offense maybe is figuring things out. I mean, they've scored 6, 5, and 7 runs over their last few games, busting out of kind of a slump there for a bit. This has been a kind of dangerous team at the plate, and I mean, with Jacob Wilson, Brent Rocker, and Tyler Sauterson, you've got some solid hitters out there. So we'll see how they do. I'm not necessarily expecting miracles from the Athletics at any point this season. So going on the road against the Rays could be a bit tough. They did get the win there in game 1. But they're going to be taking on a Rays team that's going to hand the ball to Shane Baz in this game. He's 8-3, a 4.37 ERA. His last time out was 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 9 in a 4-0 win. Also, the Rays are 5-0 over his last 5 starts. The kid just tends to get run support. So if that stays the case, I mean, it could be a bit rough out there for the Athletics. Whenever we see Baz come out of the game, that Tampa Bay bullpen's been pretty solid this year. They have had some issues recently, but a 3.74 bullpen ERA. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on this bullpen yet. And the offense has been very good, maybe struggling a little bit their last couple of games, but I expect them to snap out of that at some point pretty soon, because they're the second highest batting average team in the majors. They're 9th in slugging percentage, 6th in runs scored. Like, this is a very, very solid team. So looking at the numbers, the Athletics are plus 140. The Tampa Bay Rays are minus 165. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. The Athletics are 19-25 on the road, 20-19-5 to the over on the road. Tampa Bay is 27-23 at home, 28-19-3 to the under at home. You guys, I'm not interested in the total in this game, but I'll definitely take the Rays at minus 165. I don't trust Springs out there really too much. I don't trust the Athletics bats to get much going against Shane Baz and that Tampa Bay bullpen, and I think the Rays are going to be pissed they lost in game 1, so give me Tampa Bay here, even though the price is a little bit not great. Rolling through these games, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Reds come into this one 44-41 on the year. They lost game 1 of this series 13-6. Unfortunately, seeing their rookie, superstar pitcher implode out there. They'll hand the ball in this one to Brady Singer, who's 7-6 on the year, a 4.31 ERA. His last start, though, a little bit lackluster. It was against the Yankees, so giving up 4 earned runs, isn't the end of the world. Other than that, he'd been throwing the ball really, really well. So we'll see if he can bounce back here a little bit against a Red Sox team that shouldn't be that amazing at the plate right now. I know they're coming off a 13-run game, but I don't think that's going to be the norm for them. The Reds' bullpen is starting to concern me. A 4.12 bullpen ERA, way different than what we were seeing in the early goings. And the offense, maybe it's cooling off a bit. I mean, they scored 6, 3, 4, 8, and 1 over their last few games. We've seen, a lot of improvement from guys like Elly De La Cruz, and this has been a good offense overall. They're 10th in runs scored, they're 15th in on-base percentage, 13th in slugging percentage. I don't think this is really a top 10 offense, but they do have the ability to act like they are occasionally. So we'll see if that happens here against the Red Sox, who, coming off that win, they could definitely use it. They're, not quite in the basement in the AL East, but close to it. They'll hand the ball here to Richard Fitz, amazing name, but the guy's 0-3 on the season, a 4.68 ERA. His last time was actually okay, but it was against the Angels, and I'm not going to throw you a parade for 4 innings, 4 hits, and 2 earned runs against the Angels in a 5-2 loss. Also, Boston is 0-5 over his last 5 starts. That's worth taking notice of, guys. That is not great. So we'll see what he does here against the Reds. The Boston bullpen's been good, though. A 3.59 bullpen ERA. Nothing to complain about there. The offense is coming off 13 runs. They've scored 13, 3, and 15 over their last 3 games. I don't think this is going to be the norm for this team. I think we're going to see them cool off drastically at some point. Will it be in this game? I would say there's a chance because I don't really love this team at the plate anymore. So looking at the numbers here, the Reds are minus 105. The Red Sox are minus 115. We've got a total of 10 out there. The Reds are 20-21 on the road, 21-19-1 to the under on the road. Boston 23-19 at home, 23-17-2 to the under at home. With these trends, guys, you could maybe take under 10 if you wanted to. I'm not in love with it, but I'll definitely take the Reds here, and fade Richard Fitz. It's a great name, but I just don't think the guy's very good. I think the Reds bounce back here, and we see a better outing from their bullpen. And yeah, Cincinnati minus 105 seems like the value side. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Brewers 47-37 on the year. They did manage to lose the last game of that series against the Rockies, which snapped a 4-game winning streak, but they're going to try to bounce back here, handing the ball to Freddie Peralta. He's 8-4 on the year, a 2.90 ERA. His last start, he did give up 7 hits over 5 innings against the Pirates, but also struck out 8, and it was a 9-3 win. He's looked very good over, I would say, probably all 5 of his last 5 starts, to be honest, and the Brewers are 3-2 over those starts, winning his last 3 outings, so that's all very, very positive news. Going up against the Mets here could be a little bit tough. We'll see. The Brewers' bullpen is something I worry about. A 4.23 bullpen ERA is not great, but it has been slightly improving recently, so that's a step in the right direction. Offensively, 3, 5, 10, 4, and 9 runs over their last 2 games is kind of par for the course. Now, this team is somehow 9th in runs scored, but 15th in batting average and 12th in on-base percentage kind of paints a more realistic picture of where they're at offensively. So looking at their opponent in this game, the Mets, they just got swept by the Pirates. That's not a good look. They'll hand the ball here to Clay Holmes, who's 8-4 this season, a 2.97 ERA. His last start was very good against Atlanta. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. The Mets are 3-2 over his last 5 starts, but 2 of those starts were against the Braves, not the craziest team, and 2 of those starts were against the Rockies. So we'll see how things go for him out there. I'm not 100,000,000% sold on Clay Holmes. I think he'll be fine, but I don't necessarily expect him to go out there and be dominant. The bullpen situation for the Mets obviously is not a huge plus at the moment. A 3.70 bullpen ERA. They've had some problems over the last 5 to 10 games. So the Mets not looking the hottest coming into this series. The Bats not looking the hottest there against the Pirates, scoring 1, 2, and 1 runs respectively. A lot of guys slumping out there for the Mets at the moment. So look at the numbers. The Brewers are actually plus 110 in this game. The Mets are minus 125. We've got a total of 8.5. Milwaukee's a 500 road team. They're 21-17-2 to the under on the road. The Mets are 29-12 at home. That's somehow still an MLB best mark. They're 22-17-2 to the under at home. In terms of a total here, you could interest me in under 8.5. I actually think that's some pretty solid value, but in terms of a side, I'm leaning way more towards the Brewers here at plus 110 with Peralta on the mound than I am the Mets. They're slumping right now. It's not looking great. This could be the spot they snap out of it, but feels a little bit sketchy to me. So the Brewers here at plus 110 with Peralta on the mound could end up being our dog of the day. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Angels come into this one 41-42 on the season. They're fresh off losing 2 out of 3 against the Nationals, and they'll hand the ball here to Tyler Anderson, who hasn't been having the best time. He's 2-5 on the season, a 4.41 ERA. Now, he did just have a decent outing against the Red Sox, but over his last 4 or 5 starts before that, things were not looking very good. So we'll see if he can turn things around. He had a great year last year and started the season strong, but it hasn't looked great, and neither has that Angels bullpen. One of the 4 or 5 worst bullpens in the majors, really not up for debate at this point anymore. And the offense, while it's shown flashes this season, 16th in runs scored, I think more accurate, guys, is them being 27th in on-base percentage and 26th in batting average. So not loving life right now for the Angels. Now the Braves, they come into this game also struggling. Losers of 4 out of their last 5. They're 7 games below 500. Hitting the ball in this one to young Fuentes. He's 0-2 on the year, a 10.80 ERA. This young 20-year-old not having the best time, guys. He got shelled in his debut there, at Miami. Not having a good time there, and he's got dismantled by the Mets his last time out. So not loving the situation for him. The Braves bullpen hasn't been terrible. A 3.63 bullpen ERA is actually very good at this point, but they've had to build up to that. And the offense, bottoming out right now, guys. They've scored 1, 6, 0, 0, and 3 over their last few games. All year long, this team struggled at the plate. They're 24th in runs scored and 21st in batting average. None of that is shocking to me. So looking at the numbers here, I'm a little bit surprised to see the Angels as big underdogs. They're plus 135. The Braves are minus 160. We've got a total of 9.5 out there. The Angels, 1 game below 500 on the road and a slight over team on the road. The Braves, 6 games over 500 at home, and they are a big under team at home. In terms of the total here, I will lean just the tiniest bit towards under, but I don't love it. I really think the Angels here at plus 135 have some value. If Tyler Anderson has figured things out, he gets to go up against a pretty weak hitting Atlanta Braves team. The Angels seem like they could get to Fuentes here, so definitely consider the Angels here at plus 135. They could make it into the pinned comment as the dog of the day. Next on the docket, we've got the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Orioles actually came away with the 10-6 crazy, insano extra inning win there in game 1 of the series. Pretty annoying stuff for us because we had the under and it was looking good until the 9th inning, but that kind of stuff will happen to you every once in a while. The Orioles will hand the ball here to Brandon Young, who's 0-2 on the year, a 7.11 ERA. This is only his 4th start of the season. It's his first one since, he made 2 starts in April, then a start on the 25th. And none of those did he really show stuff where I was like, oh my God, this guy is good. Like struggling against the Rangers his last time out, it's not a great look, especially when he's got to turn right around and face them again. The Orioles bullpen, nothing too special this year. Pretty bad, a 4.54 bullpen ERA. And the offense, while it's looked great recently, 10, 5, 3, and 22 runs over their last few games. Over the course of the year, it has not been good. They're 15th in slugging percentage. They're 23rd in batting average. Gone is the dominant Orioles offense of last season. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Rangers, who are 41-44 on the season, but they've lost 3 out of their last 4. They'll hand the ball here to Jacob deGrom. That's a good way to turn things around. He's 8-2 on the season, a 2.08 ERA. His last start was 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a 7-0 win at Camden Yards against the Orioles. So I'm expecting deGrom to be pretty good. I'm also expecting that Rangers bullpen to pick itself up by its bootstraps after a terrible day yesterday and turn things around. For this one, they're the 5th best bullpen by bullpen ERA in the majors right now. The offense, 6, 4, 3, 6, and 7 over their last few games is honestly great for a Rangers team that's not very good at the plate. They're 29th in on-base percentage, 25th in runs scored. Not a team I expect to hit the ball really well, but going up here against Brandon Young, I do actually expect them to hit the ball pretty well. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Orioles are plus 170. The Rangers are minus 205. We've got totals out there of 7 or 7.5. The Orioles are only 17-25 on the road. They're 28-13-1 to the under on the road. The Rangers 24-18 at home, 30-12 to the under at home. That's an MLB best to the under. So guys, it's a Rangers game. We got to consider under 7.5 here as a possibility, but it's not my favorite spot in this game. My favorite spot is just take the Rangers here at minus 205. DeGrom's on the mound. Really not a lot of reason to be fading him, especially with the great history he has against the Orioles this season and just in general. And the dude is an absolute machine out there, so definitely give me the Rangers here at minus 205. They are a potential lock of the day. Next on the docket, we've got the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Guardians floundering right now. Losers of 4 in a row. They'll hand the ball in this one to Gavin Williams, who's 5-3 this season, a 3.68 ERA. His last start, though, not his best. 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned there against the Blue Jays. But eventually Cleveland does come away with the win in that one, but he's had much better outings with worse results, if I'm being honest. He had 6 shutout innings against the Giants in a game we eventually saw Cleveland lose. Not a guy you can really chalk up. It's a little bit tough to get run support when you're pitching for the Guardians. The bullpen for Cleveland has been okay this year, but not great like last season, and the offense has been downright bad, guys. They've scored 0, 6, 0, 0, and 5 runs over their last few games. Jose Ramirez just not really capable of carrying this offense like that. They've been dealing with some injuries. They're 26th in the majors in runs scored, 29th in batting average, so they could have their work cut out for them here going up against the Cubs, who did just lose 2 out of 3 there at the Astros. They'll hand the ball here to Matthew Boyd, who's 7-3 this season, a 2.65 ERA. He dominated the Cardinals in the last time out and hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of his last 5 starts. The Cubs are only 2-3 over that span, but it hasn't been Matthew Boyd's fault, guys. He has been excellent over that span. Now, he hasn't faced the Guardians yet this year, but I don't think he's going to have too much trouble with them. The Cubs bullpen has also looked amazing here down the stretch. A 3.27 bullpen ERA is second best in the MLB. The problem was the offense couldn't really get going in 2 of those games against the Astros. Overall, this is a very good team at the plate. They're 2nd in runs scored, 8th in on-base percentage. They've got a lot of scary bats up there, so I'm not too worried about the Cubs at the plate. Now, looking at the numbers, the Guardians are plus 143. The Cubs are minus 170. We've got a total of 8 out there. Cleveland 20-22 on the road, 22-16-4 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 25-13 at home, 19-16-3 to the over at home. I'll definitely take the Cubs here at -170. It's a little bit expensive, and I know Gavin Williams is capable of being really good on the mound, but at some point, we're going to see the Cubs get to take at-bats here against the Cleveland bullpen, and that's not great, and I also think they could get a run or two here off of Gavin Williams, and with Boyd on the mound, that might be all they need. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Astros have been playing great, winners of 5 out of their last 6. They'll hand the ball in this one to Colton Gordon, who's 3-1 on the year, a 3.98 ERA. His last start, he was lights out against the Phillies, 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed, and honestly, his last 4 starts have all been very, very reasonable. We'll see what he looks like here against the Rockies. Obviously, not an offense you should be super scared of, and I'm sure that Houston bullpen is not scared of anyone. They're one of the best 2 or 3 bullpens in the major leagues. The offense has been what's held this team back at times this year. They've been figuring it out recently, kind of. 2-3-7, 2-2-1 over their last few games. Doesn't look great. Obviously, Pena going to the IL with that small rib fracture isn't ideal. They're 20th in runs scored, but they're 7th in batting average, 14th in on-base percentage. I think this offense can be better than what they've shown, and they're going to have a chance to show it here against the Rockies, who are having a historically bad start to their year. They'll hand the ball here to Chase Dollander, who's 2-8 this season, a 6.06 ERA. He had a couple decent starts in a row here, I guess. Doing okay against the Dodgers. 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. But his last 4 outings have all been losses for the Rockies, and pitching for the Rockies at some point has to really wear you down. The Rockies bullpen's been terrible, bottom 4, bottom 5 in the majors basically all season, and the offense is kind of historically bad, guys. They're last on base percentage. They are 28th in runs scored. This is probably the worst offense in the majors. So looking at the numbers here, you're not going to be shocked to see the Astros as big favorites. They're -172. The Rockies are +143. We've got a total of 11.5. Houston 18-20 on the road, 19-16-3 to the under on the road. The Rockies are 8-32 at home. That's an MLB worst mark at home, and they're basically a 500 over/under team at home. I actually don't hate this as a spot to take under 11.5. I know you don't want to take unders at Coors Field too much, but I think this is a spot it would make some sense. And also, that's a pretty big number. In terms of a side, I'll definitely back the Astros, but at -172, I'm not seeing tons of value. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. The Royals took the 6-2 loss there in Seattle in Game 1, and they're having a rough time. They'll hand the ball here to Michael Lorenzen. Maybe not the exact guy to turn things around for him. He's 4-8, a 4.91 ERA. His last start gave up 8 hits over 5 2/3 and a 4-0 loss there against Tampa Bay. And just generally speaking, he hasn't been very good this year. We'll see what he can do against the Mariners, but he hasn't faced them yet this year. The Royals bullpen's been good. I wouldn't say it's been dominant, though. A 3.55 bullpen ERA is good, but they've occasionally had some hiccups. But what really holds this team back, guys, and what's the important thing to know about them is how bad they are at their plate. They're last in runs scored. They're 26th in slugging percentage, 25th in on-base percentage. I'm not scared of anybody that the Royals are running up there to the plate. So we'll see what the Mariners can do here. They've won 3 out of their last 4. They'll hand the ball to Emerson Hancock, who's 3-4 on the year, a 5.30 ERA. His last start was pretty good against the Twins. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, but the Seattle bullpen imploded in that game in a really weird way. I would say over his last 5 starts, 4 of them have been excellent, but we've only seen the Mariners win in 1 of them. So we'll see if he's got a little bit of a bounce back in him. He hasn't faced the Royals yet this year either. Seattle bullpen's been good, a 3.64 bullpen ERA, no problem there. The offense has been drastically improved, guys. They're 12th in runs scored. They're 9th in on-base percentage. The difference between this year and last year for this team at the plate is absolutely bonkers. So looking at the numbers here, the Royals are +115. The Mariners are -135. We've got a total of 8.5. The Royals are 19-21 on the road, 23-16-1 to the under on the road. Seattle 20-19 at home, 20-16-3 to the over at home. I'm not interested in this total, guys, but I'm very interested in the Mariners at -135 here at home. I think Hancock will have a good game. I think they'll find a way to get to Lorenzen or maybe even get to that Royals bullpen if they need to. I think the Mariners are definitely the play here. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Giants took the 4-2 loss there in Game 1 of this series. They've now dropped 6 of their last 7. They'll hand the ball here to young Hayden Birdsong, hoping he can turn things around for them, but it hasn't looked great here recently. Getting him back in the starting rotation seemed like it was going to be smooth, but his last 2 outings, he got shelled by the Red Sox, shelled by the Marlins. Also, didn't have a great time against the Rockies, so not looking great for Birdsong. Now, obviously, the Giants' bullpen's been amazing, a 2.91 bullpen ERA. It's been the best bullpen this season in general in the majors, but the problem with this team is their offense, and they got off to a hot start, but I didn't think that was going to continue for too long. It went longer than I thought they would, but they scored 2, 2, 0, and 3 runs over their last few games. That's not going to cut it, guys. They're 21st in runs scored. They are 25th in batting average. This team sucks at hitting the ball, and they're going up against a team that can hit the cover off the ball. The Diamondbacks are 42 and 42 on the year. They'll hand the ball here to Zach Gallen, who's 5-9 this season, a 5.75 ERA. He's gotten shelled in each of his last 2 starts, and over his last 4 starts, he's given up at least 4 earned runs in each outing. So it's not looking great. I don't have a lot of positive things to say here. We'll see what he can do against the Giants. He hasn't faced them, but I'm expecting him to struggle. I'm also expecting the Diamondbacks bullpen to struggle. A 5.31 bullpen ERA is pretty bad. What is it? 3rd worst in the majors. The offense, though, is pretty good. Over the course of the year, they're 3rd in runs scored, 9th in batting average. They have dealt with some injuries, but I still trust this team to put up some runs. So looking at the numbers here, the Giants are plus 115. The Diamondbacks are minus 135. We've got a total of 9.5. San Francisco is 20 and 22 on the road, a 500 over-under team on the road. Arizona's basically 500 team at home. They're 20, 18, and 3 to the over at home. I think over 9.5 actually is a possibility in this game. I don't like either one of these starters. I could also wrap my head around yes run first inning in this one, especially with Zach Gallen on the mound. So, yeah, I think there's going to be some scoring in this game. If you're begging me for a side, give me the Giants at plus 115. I don't think that's a terrible spot, but not a game where I'm showing tons of value or where I have tons of interest. In our last game of the night, we've got the Chicago White Sox headed to LA to take on the Dodgers. Now, the White Sox have actually been playing weirdly well. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games. Now, they'll hand the ball in this one to Shane Smith, who's 3-5 this year, a 3.38 ERA. He was on quite a tear there, but his last 2 starts going up against the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks, he got shelled. So maybe this guy not quite as good as he was looking, and going up against the Dodgers could be a bit rough. The White Sox bullpen is not as bad as you'd expect. A 4.10 bullpen ERA, while not great, is slightly playable. The offense, though, has been pretty terrible. They're 29th in runs scored. They are 28th in on-base percentage, last in team batting average, last in slugging percentage. This is probably legitimately the worst offense in the majors. So we'll see what they can do against one of the best offenses in the majors. The Dodgers, who are 53 and 32 on the season, just won 2 out of 3 there at the Royals. They have to go back home here now, and they're going to hand the ball to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's 7-6 this year, a 2.61 ERA. He seemed like he got back on track his last time on the mound, headed into Colorado. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed, struck out 6, and walked 1 in an 8-1 win. So good news there for the Dodgers, who need some health there at pitcher and just at pitcher in general, if we're being honest. The bullpen for the Dodgers has not been good. A 4.24 bullpen ERA is bad, but the offense can make a lot of things look a lot better. They are first in the majors in every major offensive category: runs scored, on-base percentage, batting average, and slugging percentage. So we'll see what they do here at home. The odds makers have them as massive favorites. The White Sox are plus 260. The Dodgers are minus 235. We've got a total of 8.5. The White Sox are 9-32 on the road. That's an MLB worst road mark. They're 25, 14, and 2 to the under on the road. The Dodgers are 30 and 14 at home, 28, 14, and 2 to the over at home. I think this is a pretty good spot to take over 8.5. I think we'll see plenty of offense in this game. I do think most of it will come from the Dodgers. So if you wanted to take the Dodgers like minus 1.5 or something like that, you definitely could do that. I don't have a problem with that, but it's not a spot I love enough, and I don't 1,000% trust Yamamoto quite yet. Guys, that's all the games we have for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. It's great information straight to your inbox every single day. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.